So why don't you introduce yourself and tell us what's going on today?
Okay, well, my name's Bill Blackwell. I'm an attorney in the state of California and in the state of Georgia. What's going on up here today is there's the VAX documentary. The people that produced it, directed, are going to be speaking. I'm here on behalf of the Anti-Geoengineering legal team. We started about a year ago. Was asked to join the legal team by Dane, and we just filed, or we just served our 60-day notice on over 30 U.S. government and California state agencies, letting them know that in 60 days we'll be filing a federal lawsuit.
Right. How does that go? And I don't know my law too well. So can you explain how the process, what's going to happen now?
Sure. So if you bring an action against any government agency, you have to first give them a 60-day notice.
Right. Okay.
And that lets and you detail. You don't have to be too specific, but you have to be specific enough so that they know what it's about. So we did that last week. It was about a 15-page document,
right, okay.
Laying out the reasons why we're bringing the action and alleging what we think that the government has done wrong. And then in 60 days after serving that, we had to mail that notice out to all the government agencies. 60 days following that, we will be filing our actual lawsuit in federal court. Probably in San Francisco.
Oh, really?
Yeah, probably in San Francisco.
That's my neck of the woods. I might be able to follow that.
There you go. Yes, you may. Yeah, sure. So that the lawsuit will then be the lawsuit, and you will be alleging the violations that we think are occurring daily.
Right.
The action is being brought under the Federal Clean Water Act.
Right.
We had to keep it as simple as possible because this is a big gorilla to go against the government with all the aerosol spraying. There were a lot of different violations that we could have brought, but we needed to keep it simple. In our eyes, we just have to prove that there's aerosol spraying in the skies, right. And we think we can do that. Under the Clean Water Act, the EPA has to issue, and other agencies have to issue permits to allow the government or any individual that's going to fly in the sky that's going to aerosol spray something out. They have to give permits. Well, they haven't given out any permits, so we've made it simple. Is there spraying? Yes. Have you given out the permits? No. And as a result of that, this is a felony, and it's in the statute. So that's what we're doing, and also to seek an injunction to get the spraying to stop.
Can you explain what exactly, if someone doesn't really know what we're talking about, what's geoengineering, or what are we trying to fight here?
Okay, well, what we're trying to fight is there is a program that's been initiated by the government to spray particulate matter in the air, and this particulate matter is aluminum.
Right.
And it was designed initially to stop the reflection, or to reflect the sun's rays.
Right.
To attempt some sort of cooling to the planet.
Right.
All right. Solar radiation, reflection, and it's, of course, it's not working. And the glaciers are melting, Arctic and the North Pole, and all over the planet, the Greenland and everything like that. So it's not working. But more importantly, it's aluminum that's coming down, and it's killing trees.
Right.
It's causing sickness in children. It's causing sickness in adults. It's in our drinking water. So it has compounded the issue. Was it a great idea? I don't know.
How do we know? What evidence do we have that this has taken place?
We have a 750-page congressional report that lays it all out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we have the background on this, and actually in that report was written in the 70s. This isn't anything new.
Right. Okay.
So we have all the if you've seen Dane's lecture today, we have all of the photographic evidence of the spraying of that's coming out of the tankers. There's an actual patent called the Waback patent for the nozzle that's put on the the airplanes to spray the material out. We've got a retired Air Force general that's behind the scenes that
really?
yeah.
He goes. What's he saying, or can you?
Well, he has given us information that this is happening.
It is happening?
It's
So
come
the
down through
military's
Pentagon. Yes.
involved?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So in our lawsuit, we filed against the Air Force, we filed against the Navy, we filed against the Department of Defense.
Right.
So they're all included.
Right.
But and we have people that have been former pilots. So we've we've talked to some ground personnel
Right.
that's seen the loading of the canisters into these tankers.
Wow.
So we feel that we've got enough evidence. We have former fish and game biologists for the state of California.
Right.
We've got a number of really top scientists aboard that know what's going on. So we've got a very good core of people
Right,
that we're
okay.
going to be able to call as witnesses when the case starts.
So there will be a case to go to, and there will be.
We'll go
witnesses.
to trial.
We'll go to trial.
Well, as long as we don't get knocked out, there are no assurances when you go to court.
Right. Okay.
All right. If we can dodge all of the bullets that are going to be thrown at us, we're going to have hundreds and hundreds of attorneys that are going to come at us. The Department of Defense probably has 2,500 attorneys, maybe
Yeah.
more. Okay, so they're going to have a lot of attorneys throwing paper at us with all the other agencies. So if we can dodge all that and we can finally get it to court without it getting knocked out on some technicality, then I think we've got a very good chance to win this case in court. But it's going to be a long battle.
Long battle.
Yeah, but secondly, we're going to get some media exposure. Like you're interviewing me right now.
Yes.
Most people, if you stop 10 people on the street, at least 8 of them are not going to know what aerosol spraying is, what geoengineering is. They're not going to know it. They're going to think you're nuts. They're not going to believe that the government's spraying aluminum down on us. Because the media doesn't cover this.
Obviously, yeah.
Do you see NBC, ABC, CBS Evening News here? No, you don't.
I think I'm the only journalist.
Journalist here. And you had to come from Dublin, Ireland to do this. So the media exposure is important.
Right.
Even if we fail, at least we're going to get
Get
the
some
word
exposure.
out
Right.
that this is what's going on, and so it's going to be a battle. And if we fail, hopefully someone else takes up the cause and files another action somewhere else.
You said there's 30 across America, or is that what you said?
No, we filed against 30 agencies.
Oh, 30 agencies, sorry. Okay.
Approximately 10 U.S. government agencies and a little over 20 agencies here in the state of California.
Right. Okay. And what feedback have you gotten since you've done that?
We haven't. No, we just served them with the notice. I don't really expect any feedback because they don't have to respond to the notice.
Right.
They just know it's coming. After we file the lawsuit, then they have 30 days in which to respond to the action in their answer. They have to file an answer in court.
So what?
Or they have to file some other documents in court, but it has to be responded to within 30 days.
How do you expect this to go? Say it goes to court. What's the best outcome that can possibly happen?
Well, the best.
Do you think they're going to admit, we're spraying chemicals in the sky, or like what's going to? How do we force the issue?
Well, the best answer or the best overall thing that could happen is, number one, part of our lawsuit is going to be an injunction, which is simply asking the court to stop something, and in this case, asking the judge, to issue an order to stop the spraying of the particulate matter in the sky.
Okay.
If we can do that, we won a great portion of this case, because this is what this is all about, to stop them from spraying. The second portion is to get them to pay the fines that they should pay, to put things back. See, if we can show that there's damages as well, they've got to correct this. So it's a long process, but the most important thing is to get them to stop. If we can get the injunction done and in our favor, okay, and a judge will hear it. If he issues an order to stop the spraying, then in my mind, we've won.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And as I said, we're still working on the lawsuit because we don't have to file it We don't have to file it for 60 days.
Right.
And so we're still framing exactly, what it is that we want in there.
Okay.
We've got it maybe 90% completed right now,
Right, okay.
but there's still some fine tuning. It took us about 4 months to do the 60-day notice. And we've been working on this lawsuit for a while. So anyway, we'll see what happens.
Who else but other lawyers or people?
Well, Ed Strendkowski is here. You may want to speak to him.
Yeah, right, okay.
He's from Oregon.
Right.
Actually, he'd be a great guy to talk to because he's our environmental attorney on the staff.
Okay.
He's done a lot of environmental work, and he's someone you definitely would want to interview.
Maybe you can point him out to me.
I'll point him out to you. He just walked in. He just came in a moment ago. He was the big guy in the. And then we have James Grant, who is our lead litigator attorney. He's down in Los Angeles.
Right.
He's not here. He wasn't able to make it up here today. We have a lady by the name of Petra Broken. She's from Minneapolis, so she wasn't able to be here today.
Right.
And Robert Wegman, and he's a very fine criminal attorney, and he's back in Virginia,
Right.
Chesapeake Bay, Virginia, I believe.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
So, and then we have two attorneys that Tony Vaca and Henry, terrible with names, but they're from Canada,
Right.
and they have actually filed, their lawsuit has already been filed against the Canadian government.
Right, okay.
So, and that was filed about 90 days ago. And so they're just waiting to get a response from the
Right.
government on that. So we'll see how that proceeds.
Right.
And so it's, all systems go, both here in the States and up in Canada.
And how did Dean contact you, or how did you know about this geoengineering?
No,
or?
I'll tell you how this all came about. My wife, Angela Black, had a show on Revolution Radio.
Right.
And she had interviewed Dane and was in this. I mean, she knew about aerosol spraying. And at the time when she started this, it was 5 years ago, I was more full-time as an attorney. I just retired a couple of years ago. And so I wasn't, she had her thing to do and I had my thing to do. And then we moved up to South Lake Tahoe. I retired from South Lake Tahoe.
Very beautiful there.
Yeah. And every time she'd get in the car, she'd start pointing at the planes and the contrails or the chemtrails, and start yelling at the plane. I'm saying, "What are you talking about?" And she started telling me this, and
You're like, "No."
I said, "You're nuts." I go, "Leave me alone," And and so
as most people do.
Yeah. So, but she said, "You know what?" She says, in my past, I had done still do, but I did a lot of research on the Kennedy assassination,
right?
And knew that the findings of the Warren Commission were just a bunch of lies.
Yeah, bogus.
And so she says, that the government lied, to us about Kennedy.
JFK, yeah.
She says, so step back and take a look at what she says. You think I'm stupid? I go, well, no, I don't think you're stupid. She says, well, then start listening to what I'm telling you and go to Dane's website, which I did. And she had Dane on her show and started looking at this. And so one day I was out at a site in Carson. It was like a dump site for cars, and a buddy of mine was getting some parts from an old car. And we were out there for about an hour. And Fallon Naval Air Force Base is out about 60 miles from there.
Right, okay.
So in the span of about an hour, I watched at least 8 or 9 naval jets or Air Force jets take off from Fallon. It came right across where I was standing.
Yeah.
And I was watching it, and as they got to the mountain range, they hit the sprayer.
Oh,
and
wow.
all of them hit the sprayer at the same place, 9 of them in a row, or 8 of them in a row. And I was watching this, and then it just kind of clicked. I'm going, there is something because you see something with your eyes, And so I kind of got into it and met Dane over the phone, and he asked me aboard. He said, "This is what I want to do. I'd like to file a lawsuit, against the government. Would you be interested in being a part of that?" And he says, we need media attention. Yeah. And so one of the things I bring to the team. I'm not an environmental attorney, but for 30 years I was in LA doing entertainment law.
Right. Okay.
So I had a lot of contacts, or have a lot of contacts on the media side.
Right. Okay.
So that's kind of my function with the group, is to try and get us a media bounce. And our press release that we sent out, that I wrote along with Amber, who's one of our new people aboard. Very lucky to have her. I think she got her degree in horticulture, so she knows about this. So we did a very good press release, got it out, and we got some pretty good media bounce from it.
What media?
Well, we were on Yahoo
coverage?
News, we were on CNBC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were in a number of publications. And before, we couldn't get anything, you know.
Yeah.
Last year, we had a conference here. We had one radio station, or one TV station showed up. It was ABC out of, I want to say, Sacramento that came.
Right.
And so they did come. So we did get a little bit of national exposure on ABC, about 6 minutes worth. But we couldn't even get you don't see anybody here locally.
No.
You see anybody from Reading here? No, you don't see anybody here.
Nobody, no.
So, media-wise, a lot of people here from Reading,
Yeah.
watch this today.
But there's no media
there's no
here?
media here. They just, so that's why this case is so important. Number one, to stop what's going on. But behind the scenes, number two, is to get some media exposure so the public knows what's going on.
Right, okay.
My brothers live in Kansas. They think I'm nuts.
They think you're nuts,
They
do
think
they?
I'm absolutely Looney Tunes, to
Does
be doing this.
have you converted any of your friends or any?
Oh, yes, I have. I have a bunch of buddies. I've got a group of about 50 guys. We go camping every year up in the Sierras to go fishing for a week, for 10 days. And so 3 years ago or so, when I kind of got into this, they didn't want to talk to me.
Yeah.
I mean, they would hear me, but they didn't really believe what I was telling them. And now I've got probably about 20 of them that fully understand what's going on.
That's good.
It just takes a while,
yeah.
because if you don't, if you don't hear something that the media tells you, then it must not be true,
yeah.
because you're just a conspiratorial nut, okay? Because if it was true, it'd be on the news,
Yeah.
So it takes a while, and I was the same way. 3 years ago, listening to my wife, there was no difference. I don't want to hear about this. You're nuts. This isn't going on.
Yeah. So regarding you said conspiracy theory, didn't that term was coined straight after the JFK? The CIA invented that term to call people who questioned the.
Well, a lot of people were called, conspiratorial nuts or buffs. They would call you a buff. A Kennedy assassination, a buff. Which is kind of a slang, like you're an idiot. So, but I don't know who coined the phrase conspiratory nut. But anyway, so. But anyway, so we're all up here today to talk about this, and we've got some great information that we're giving out to the people that are here today. But I'll show you who Ed is. And you'll certainly want to talk to Ed.
Right. That'd be great if you can get into court and actually.
Yes.
That'd be fantastic.
Well, we will. As I said, the process starts in about 52 days.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. So I am. Hopefully, I can. Are people allowed to record inside the inside? No.
No, not unless the judge. Well, it is allowed if the judge will allow you to do it. Okay, but
I doubt that this judge will allow it.
It doesn't happen very often.
Right.
Okay, now you know the O.J. Simpson trial.
Yeah.
Well, that was recorded. All right, but that had to be approved by the judge. But if media wants to do it, if they file a request and enough people do it, normally there is precedent to allow mainline stream media in to record.
Hopefully, the mainstream media make an effort to, if this does happen, to attend this and to cover it.
Yeah, most courtrooms have videotaping capabilities and audio, and so they'll assign one person to actually video and record, and then that footage is then disseminated to the various stations.
Right. Is there any more now things you want to tell me now before we go, or any really good pieces of information?
No, I'm saving all the good information for court.
Right. Okay.
I can't let the cat out of the bag yet.
Well, that's great talking to you. Thanks for doing
thank you very much for having me aboard.
No problem.
Yeah, you bet.
All right.
Okay.
Hello everyone, how's it going? Today is August the 5th, 2016, and I'm at the Cascade movie theater here in Redding, California. Dean Wigington and Geoengineering Watch.org is hosting an event showing the movie Vaxxed. I just seen it there. It's a must-see movie. I had a lot of interviews there with a lot of really interesting people. A guy in the CIA, lawyers, all sorts of people. So check that out. I'm about to head home here now, back to the Bay Area. All right, see you all later.